1 minute warning!
To the goofball army out there, hi at the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy.
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, whew.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm Rob. And hey, it's Monday, so we got some Giants news for you.
Oh, yes, we do. Giants Turmoil is officially here, guys. We got Carter drama, coaching questions, Dart's health, and a potentially franchise-changing decision if we end up at pick 2 we're at now. So let's get her started up. All righty, guys. So first, let's get the comments. We got a lot of comments to start off here. We got Tony saying Abdul Carter had a lot of hype and was 3rd overall pick. Imagine if LT gave up his number to Carter. It's early. Are we giving up on Carter already?
No, it's way too early. Come on.
Way too early. Way too early.
Yeah. He had a terrible head coach. He has a terrible DC. He has potential to grow. He just got to get a little sleep and clear his head. But yeah, we'll get to that part later.
Sleep to clear his head. Oh, my God.
But, you got to give him time. And it's a rookie. Some of these rookies don't pop till the junior year. So, give him time.
Jason Jalen Hyatt took Odell Beckham's jersey number. He did. Devin Singletary took Saquon's. Anthony says, Drew and Rob been saying for months not to expect the world out of him. You can't expect the guy to be a double-digit sack guy. He should have 5.5 to 6 sacks at this point, but Banks is the DPI king. First off, I like it that we are being used as sources of resource on our own show. I did the research, and Drew and Rob said this, so therefore
they've said it.
Jason's a strange player at this point. I'm sure he will mature and grow his frame some. Yeah, he definitely needs to mature, that sounds like. Anthony also quoting me saying, I'm not judging any defensive players till Bowen's gone. Damn straight. He says, what about Burns? He says, can't compare a 7-year vet to a rookie, bro. Damn straight.
Well, also go along with that troll. That's with Burns, like he's the only one that's looking good this year. Imagine how great he could be if Bowen wasn't there.
Deb says, good evening, kids.
Good evening.
Good evening. Top of the morning to you. Jay says the vest is not in attendance. Yes. Instead, he looks like a guy who was rejected from a new audition for NSYNC. with the backwards hat.
Want it that way. Tell me why.
The new Joey Fatone over here.
Bro, Jersey was bone chilling today.
As Anthony says, never seen Rob in street clothes before. That's because you sold your damn tickets to the Giants-Packers game, man.
Yeah, bro, you would have saw me Giants out yesterday.
Yeah, Jason's long day at work. Drew, you started tired. Nope, never tired out. AC looks like 15-year-old 90s photograph. We can do the buddy cop thing. Ready?
Yeah.
Other direction you have to go. There you go.
Go give me a high five.
Anyway, guys, let's get into the actual stuff here. The big one we got to start off. But let's start off with Abdul Carter because this is freaking wild. He gets benched for the first drive. Reports say he missed a walkthrough because he was asleep. He fires back saying he was getting recovery and still takes the blame. Is this just a rookie mistake or a bigger red flag for a guy we expect to be a defensive cornerstone there. Absolutely crazy there. We got him napping there in our little thumbnail. It's very nice. But
yeah, dude, definitely hit the snooze alarm.
So Abdul Carter, again, he's benched in the first series on Sunday there against the Packers. When asked about after the game, interim head coach Mike Kafka says, yeah, we'll just keep the rest of that in-house. Just it was a coach's decision for me, and talk to Abdul Carter. Okay, becomes a topic. They kind of start pressing on. Again, this is an interim head coach. It's his first game. The media's thinking, let's press him a little. Let's see if he gives a little more information at that point. He said, yeah, he played his butt off. He practiced his tail off, played his butt off. I'm really happy about Abdul and excited to watch him continue to grow and continue to play a lot more as a pro. I love Abdul and what he brings to this team, the skill set he has. This guy loves ball. I'm excited to watch him attack this week of practice and continue to work and grow and be the great player I think he is. Will you stop with the... Are you laughing at Jay? Or are you laughing at the where he loves ball? Like, which one are you laughing at? It's right around the same time.
Definitely Jay.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
Jay says Drew's always had it out for Carter because he assaulted an automotive professional. Really hits home. This scary thing is, I've actually in my career had 2 people threaten to pull guns on me.
Well, that's also because you're in Florida.
Well, it's because so the last guy who said it to me point blank was like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to my car and get my gun. I said, I wouldn't do that if I was you. He says, why not? I said, my car's closer. Anyway, listen, it was a story. It wasn't really going anywhere because nobody knew exactly what had happened. They assumed something had happened, but no one really knew. Dan Duggan of the New York Times there goes ahead and breaks it on X there today. He says, sources, Giants rookie linebacker Abdul Carter was benched for the opening drive of yesterday's loss to Packers for missing a walkthrough. Carter was asleep in the team facility at the time of the walkthrough. First off, you can't even make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Who else has this scenario? Like, that was absolutely ridiculous.
We are now the new Raiders.
Thanks. So Abdul Carter literally then goes into the comments section of Dan Duggan on that post. In the comments section, it says, was not asleep, actually doing recovery. Nevertheless, that's on me with the capital M-E. So at least he's taking onus on it. But he's saying it was from recovery. Now, I have heard today Jordan Ronan and Ryan Dunleavy both say point blank they heard he was sleeping.
So crazy.
And how do you sleep? How do you sleep during in a team facility and nobody wakes you up and say, hey, dude, walkthroughs are going on? Like,
it's time to go.
Yeah.
Time to do your job.
Now stories are coming out that he's been late before. Listen, this is an issue we talked about. And again, I don't want to be the guy who keeps harping and trying to kick Dable while he's down. But this is something that we heard a lot of with Dable when we talked about it, where it was a club med mentality as far as a lot of the practices and the way things were, especially in training camps in past years. He was known for being kind of a jerk to other coaches, but he was extremely player friendly. Like, they basically did what they wanted to do. The inmates were running the asylum.
Yeah, you can't have that.
And it's
your job. And like, when it comes to being the head coach, you're the one that has to put the structure there. And this is like you're saying, this falls back on Dable. Like, you allow this to happen, of course it's going to happen. It's going to take time to fix it.
And I give Kafka credit for trying to do something to fix it there. And I hear a lot of people complaining that he's not doing more. Like, one drive, and that's all you take him out for falling asleep and missing a walkthrough. I don't think people necessarily recognize what situation that Mike Kafka's in. First off, he's an interim head coach. He's not a head coach. There is a difference in how players will treat you. They, if they like you, they'll give you respect, but they're not going to give you the same respect for a guy with a 3-year contract as the head coach. Sorry, it's just not going to happen.
Correct. But it's also, he's fighting for a job. So he needs to put out the best product on the field.
Correct. But I'm saying that's what I feel like is part of it is. And the second thing is you can't go, and this is any position you're in any work life. This is just life when you're a manager of any kind, whether it's a head coach or you're running a Walmart or you're running you're running like a steakhouse. Like whatever job you are, a Fortune 500 company, like it doesn't matter. You can't go from somebody who's extremely friendly to the employees to be a total like douche overnight. Like that's not going to work.
That's how you lose half your staff.
Yes. Now, granted, this staff can't go ahead and just walk out. They're under contract. They can't go work elsewhere. But they can stop putting in the effort. They can stop listening. They can cause all kinds of issues to make your life a living hell.
Correct.
So I think Kafka did it right when he did. Now, if he does it again, let's say hypothetically Abdul Carter is late for another walkthrough or something, and all they do is miss the first series for him, I'll be pissed. Because at that point, that's when you got to go, you know what? You got to just we're going to sit you this game out. We're going to draw a line in the sand here now. We were nice about it the first time because we know you got away with it in the past. We're not trying to put massive changes on you, but you took advantage of that niceness. And this whole game, we're just going to sit you.
Yeah, well, that conversation should be had done right after the game, after everything was coming through. Like, hey, we sent you. We did the polite thing and the nice thing, but
yeah,
don't
I'm sure the conversation was had though.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like
not going to tell us that.
No, I'm saying like with previous, under Dable, he probably didn't have this conversation. He probably just assumed the players were expecting it.
Yeah,
but you got to be upfront. You got to be clear with the players. Like this is how it's going to be going forward. You want to look your best, and you want your best stuff out of the field because you want to get paid somewhere else. You better start playing.
Yeah,
because as much as it hurts Kafka not playing these starters, it's also going to hurt the players' pockets when they're not starting, being on the field to show what they have.
Yeah, and I look at it like again, I'm a little bit of an old soul. I know we got some other old souls in here as well. Go back to when Jim Fossil was the head coach here for a minute, okay? And Jim Fossil came here. He was very much a player's coach. He was not the disciplinarian type. He was the buddy coach. He was. And there's nothing wrong with that. Different systems work for different people. It's not that. That's not what it defines whether you're a good coach or not. And we've got through a Super Bowl under Jim Fossil, so it can't be all bad. But he was too buddy-buddy. When he left, Tom Coughlin came in. We all know how Tom Coughlin was in the beginning. Extreme disciplinarian. The guy's never really got a good feel for who he was because he's one of those guys that, put up a wall and was just a very, very, a different guy outside of the football world. Like you hear him in conversations, he actually is a fun guy. He's a nice guy. There's a lot of charity work. There's a lot of things that, you might not think of based on some of the stuff he was as a coach when he first got here. But for lack of a better term, he kind of let his hair down a little bit in 2007 after being here a couple of years and let players see who he really was. And that's when this team really started to perform for him. That's the difference. And that's what I'm talking about when I say that, because if Kafka had come in and been that kind of guy like Coughlin was when he first got here, the team would shut down. The team would just not listen to him in any way, shape, or form. And that would have been the worst move he could have possibly made, especially because he's got 7 weeks to prove he can be a head coach.
Yeah.
You want to tick off one of your players you really need to perform? Because you don't think how Abdul Carter performs is going to be a big difference whether or not he stays a head coach? Like, he's one of the guys that they want to fix.
But it's also, just besides that, it's you took a young talent and you helped develop him into this. This is what he was when he got you under Dable, and this is who he is now. That's a testament of what a head coach could do. Yeah, a good DC as well, but like that's part of the job is develop and train these players.
I love also I mentioned Jim Fossil, and the chat has now turned into an entire thing about Dave Brown and how rich he is now. Yeah, Dave Brown also he is like a head guy for Raymond James actually. So that's why he's got some money now. So yeah, he's now like an investor for Raymond James. I forget his exact title, but he's been with them for quite a while. So yes, he's a lot of money, guys. Dave Brown made more money as Raymond James than he ever probably made with the New York Giants or the Arizona Cardinals for that matter. But yeah, like I said, I think this was the right move though overall for Kafka. I give him credit for the move he made. I'm curious how it works. I will also give credit to Abdul Carter because Abdul Carter at least said point blank it was on him. He took the blame.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not he fell asleep or if he was actually conditioning, I don't know. I wasn't there. I can imagine if it's just conditioning, they probably would have said, hey.
Recovery. So
yeah,
maybe he was
recovery, meaning he was. Well, he was with the a personal trainer or somebody like that. I mean by that. So he was doing recovery. Then they would have said, no, you probably shouldn't do that right now. Let's go there. So I'm leaning towards he was probably sleeping.
100%. Because what does your body do when you go to sleep? It recovers from the day. So that could be also a slang word for recovery and for sleep.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. Now, what's interesting is after all the reporters started coming out saying he was sleeping, he tweeted out, which is the first tweet he had in a long time. He said, when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. So he's hell bent on this whole I was in recovery thing.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, I'll give him credit for owning up to it, but I also go, maybe you should just take a little more onus that you just fell asleep.
Yeah, that was the best of us, man.
Listen, good.
Sometimes I like a midday nap myself.
Maybe he has sleep apnea. I don't know.
But maybe.
I fell asleep plenty of times sitting down with sleep apnea, so it is what it is. Maybe he needs to be a Darth Vader. Maybe, oh my God, the Darth Vader thing. It makes sense now. Does Abdul Carter have sleep apnea? Oh my. All right. Let's get to the next one here. So now to Mike Kafka, who says it's status quo and the staff is attacking this week with fresh ideas. This may sound calm, but how safe is Shane Bowen really? Like, is this like a legit audition week to week for him basically at this point? Is that what's going on? Because
I think so.
He's still around. Another fourth quarter lead blown. He's still around. He's not going anywhere, guys. They've already said point blank. They're not making changes this week. I don't get it.
The defense didn't feel the same as, when they lost against the Broncos. They didn't feel the same when they, lost against the Bears. But
no, they didn't have a 30-point lead to give up.
No. And it was back and forth. They blew the lead. It wasn't a blowout. The game was back and forth on a lot of it. And they just start letting Love just throw the ball down the field in the fourth quarter. And it would just went back to that prevent defense, which obviously has not prevented anything except a blow job and probably your job.
You see a blow job?
A blown game.
I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Who prevented this blow job?
Cock block.
Oh, but yeah, Kafka was quoted as saying, I would say status quo. I wouldn't anticipate any, and then pauses and then says, as a matter of fact, we're going to go and attack this week. I'm excited for this week of prep. The coaches are excited about it. We just watched the tape with some good, fresh ideas. So this will be a couple of good work days here. We'll get the players in tomorrow, and we'll set that plan in motion. Yeah. Another fourth quarter lead blown.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I mean, he got so many games that we should have won. It's ridiculous. I just can't. I can't anymore. There's no legitimate excuse for keeping Mike Kafka unless just nobody else wants the job.
Bowen or Kafka?
I'm not Bowen. I'm sorry. That's the only reason why is if nobody else wants the job.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what they said and why they said it and how to play that right now. Because if Dable was that much of a control freak, how much was he saying to Bowen, like, what you can or can't do? And this is how I want the team to be ran. So you have to give him a little. You have to give him a little bit more than a week. Like, all right, you were playing the Green Bay Packers. You guys thought there was going to be blown out. Everyone out there in the comment section, when I said that they were not going to lose more than a touchdown, I thought I was crazy. And fourth quarter loss, right? We're in the lead. So part of it comes down to, like, we played a better team. But we had every opportunity to win that game. And it did come down on defense why we lost. And also was the third last interception in the end zone. But
I feel like, am I crazy? Feel free to tell me if I'm crazy. But I feel like what's going on is that he's like the Daniel Jones of defensive coordinators there.
But
he can't succeed no matter what here because he's just damaged goods.
The problem is, I hear what you're saying with that, but Bowen's also only been here a season and a half. Like, it's not like we used to abuse him for the past 4 years, and now it's just like, get out of here. We're a bad team last year.
Yeah, stay here. Yeah.
You see here, you play for a terrible team, kid.
Yeah.
We got a new coaching regime here. We're going to change it around.
I don't know. I can't get behind keeping Kafka at this point here. I'm okay with Kafka. Bowen. I keep on doing that. I'm okay with keeping Kafka, for the rest of this year and see what he gives and giving him a legit shot to even win the head coaching job if he's good. But I can't get behind in any way, shape, or form keeping Bowen. And the fact that Kafka keeps keeping Bowen here makes me question his judgment of everything now.
So here's where I rebuttal that, because just like I said before, how much, and Kafka knows more than we do because we're not on MetLife ever, really. How much was Dable being a control freak? And how much was he saying, this is what you control, this is how I want the team to play? Automatically, you have to go prevent defense in the fourth quarter. To now, Kafka, 1 week on a Kafka. Team looked different in the fourth quarter when it was splitting that lead.
Yeah, it blew it in a whole different way.
Listen, but it's a big difference. Like, we all knew Green Bay was a better team coming in.
Yes.
But they played a lot better, and Giants had every opportunity to win that game at the end. But it's 1 week. So, like, right now, like, it doesn't look good because we've already had 4 blown leads in the fourth quarter. So this just stacks up to it. But this is the first time we've seen it under Kafka. How he comes back next week against the Lions, we're probably going to get smoked. But the real testament to how we play against the Commanders. And if we're up in the fourth quarter and they lose again, that's when you fire him. You got to give him a couple weeks.
This one is probably the game that I have the least amount of faith in coming up. So maybe that's what it is. They're thinking, we're not going to even get a lead this time. Let's just get the defense get totally killed. We'll replace Kafka next week for the Commanders. And the guy looks like a genius because the Commanders can't score.
AC, 4 blown leads in the fourth quarter until we went into yesterday.
So he's saying 4 blown leads overall because he's including the blown lead in the Saints game as well, which wasn't in the fourth quarter, but still was a blown lead.
I think it was over yesterday when we lost 5th blown lead.
Oh, no, I think what it's talking about is that because we got the 5th blown lead this season. So, and while you wouldn't count usually a 1 point lead as a blown lead, but when it's in the fourth quarter with just 6 minutes left to go, you're going to count it as one.
Yeah.
So I get it. I just think that it's Kafka's job right now. And they said point blank that he's the one who controls whether or not Bowen stays and the rest of the assistants for that matter. I really think in my head, I just got to wonder if there's a situation where nobody else wants the job. I really just got to wonder if that's what it is.
I think a lot of the place, if it was the old regime, yes, Dable's gone. It gives DC's a little bit of more of a glimmer of hope to see like what they can do with this team. Because if Brian Dable is like what it sounds like or what it looked like, he's a control freak and everyone has to be his way, and he just rude and dick-like to his coaches, not giving them respect. Like, who wants to come over here and play for that on a losing team? At least if we're like in the playoffs all the time.
Come in. So
if that head coach was Bill Belichick in the 2010s and your quarterback's Tom Brady, anyone and their mother is going to come into this place and play because you're probably going to win a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Which then allows you to go anywhere else you want and fool everyone else who you actually are, and you go become a head coach in New York Media and just blow everything. But that's besides the point. But
I don't know. Like
now that Dable's gone, you have this interim, if you will, GM. Give him a couple days.
GM, interim head coach.
Yeah, sorry, interim head coach. Give him a couple days with a couple weeks with Bowen. If he still produces, you got to give him a couple weeks to see like what's changed from when Dable was there to like now Kafka's rules. Like you got to see the alteration. Like so, just be upset that 6 days ago, now it's 7 days that Dable's gone. 6 days that Kafka had it, and you saw a little bit of change, and it wasn't complete blood. It wasn't bad like what a lot of people thought. Like you got to give him a little bit of time and see if he develops in the 3 weeks before you fire him. You will have people wanting to get this job if we get a new head coach, or even if you get Kafka, because people respect Kafka around the league. Because you also have an exciting young, exciting young receiver and neighbors. You have a fantastic rookie quarterback, and also Scatterbo. I mean, we'll see if he plays like he did before the injury.
I'm actually pretty excited about Scatterbo. You see the update on his he's moving his foot already.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he was showing it like he's moving his foot already. Like this team has the people here. Like I'm cool with that. I'm just looking at
you have the talent. Oh, this year specifically, no, it's going to come until the offseason.
No, and that's what I'm saying is you don't have someone come in. You gotta promote.
You gotta promote from within. Probably,
and that's why I'm wondering: does Marquay Manuel not want the job? Does Andre Patterson not want the job? Is that the issue that they just don't have somebody qualified to take over? That's the part we don't know. Like we all can go, oh, why is Bowen still here? Why is Bowen still here? Why is Bowen still here? But that doesn't mean that there's an obvious person to take over for him either. And that's the part of we don't know.
We don't either. I mean, who you got to promote?
No, that's the two guys you have is Manuel and Patterson. That's the two guys who have been in DC before, who are qualified to take over. Unless you want to put somebody who's not qualified, and we already have someone not qualified in Bowen, you may as well keep him.
Yeah, I guess that would be the patsy.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll see what happens here over the next couple of weeks. That's for sure. All right, let's get into talking about Jaxson Dart here because Jaxson Dart is still in the protocol, and now we're hearing he's being encouraged to change the way he runs to protect himself long term there. So, how much can you really adjust a young quarterback style without taking away what makes him dangerous? And what do the Giants need from him to stay on the field for the next decade? Hopefully,
maybe
because we found out a lot of Giants front office higher ups in there literally sat Dart down and told him point blank, like, we need you. You can't keep running the way you're running. And tried to explain to him, like, look at what happened. You're not in this week's game because you went for a couple extra yards. And they're not wrong in that. And I'm hoping that they got through to him because let's be honest. Do you think we win that game if we had Jaxson Dart yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you point blank, we win if we had him. Point blank. We win if we had him.
We would have won yesterday. Just one of 3 guys I mentioned before that any head coach would love to have. You bring Scatterbo in that game, change how we ran.
Singletary. That's a whole different.
But I'm just saying with the level of talent of the injuries that we had. But yes, Dart 100%. We would have won the game. Famous Jameis threw more yards to look better in Love yesterday, which something else I called going into that game. Fantastic.
And again, interceptions not on him. That's on Hyatt. But you look at the game, and that's the problem is that we literally could have won this game if we had our quarterback. And we didn't have our quarterback because he was trying to get a couple extra yards that we didn't even need.
No.
Now, I will say this, though. That's also when the Giants coaching staff overall for putting him in that position by keep on running the ball with him. I like seeing that we ran the ball a lot this week against the Packers, a very good defense, and ran effectively. So my hope is that we continue doing that, continue putting screens in. Screens! Woo!
Ooh.
And then we don't have to worry about Dart getting hit like this. Like, let it be something he does when he has to. Don't design it. Don't treat him like you did DJ back in 22.
That's exactly what they're going for. It's okay to have design runs for your QB. You can do it a couple times a game. You don't need to do it once every drive.
But it's also, I understand it more with the guy. Like I said, I'm not going to say this is right what I'm about to say, but I at least understand the logistics and the mentality of it. It made more sense in 22 to do that with DJ because you didn't know if you're going to keep DJ long term. You're caring about this season. You're caring about winning at that point there. The long term wasn't part of the equation. Long term is a lot of the equation here with Jaxson Dart. He's not a guy you've had for 3-4 years that you're not keeping around. There's a difference. Yeah. You want him for the next 10-12 years. Well, you know what? You're going to have to protect him. And he's not the only one. I heard some of the comments say Lamar Jackson had the same issue we did. One guy who people forget had this issue big time when he was younger. Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to say.
Aaron Rodgers was a guy who point blank took so many hits because he would stay in the pocket for so goddamn long with the ball in his hand. And that's an issue you see with Jaxson Dart, too. That's why I bring that up as a comparison. Separate from the runs, that's part of the equation as well of him not getting hit, is he's got to get that internal alarm clock, so to speak, and, go ahead and know when to throw the ball away. Now, I wouldn't recommend borrowing an alarm clock from Abdul Carter, apparently, but he needs that internal alarm clock to know when to throw the ball away. He doesn't have that. He's got to develop that. He's got to learn that. And I got to say, this offseason, that's what he needs to work on more than anything else. There's drills for that kind of stuff where you're in your head, you're just going 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, like you're learning. Like you got to internally count that. And I get it. You might think, okay, give me the second or two, somebody might pop free. But you know what? That could work either way. It could be a receiver, it could be an edge rusher. Like either one could pop free. You can only guard somebody for so long before eventually they're going to get free. Yeah. And he's got a really good feel for the pocket. He really does. But every so often, he just doesn't see the guy. And that's what it is. Peripheral vision only gets you so much. So, hopefully it's a different Dart. And I'm hoping it's not any less aggressive of a Dart. I like him aggressive. I like the aggression he shows. But he's gotta go ahead and get that part fixed. Definitely has to do it. So Deb asked, do you think Dable watched the game? I gotta think he did, but oh my God, this gotta be. I just hope people leave him alone. Honestly. Like, what was the one paper that did the pictures of him at his house like a day later or something like that? I think it was New York Post. Like, that's just trash. You leave the man be.
I was about to say, it's very disrespectful. It's very
we don't need that. Let's not be those guys. Like, that's just, I feel bad for the guy. The guy lost his job.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He should have a job. He made millions of dollars. He should have money saved up, obviously. Like, it's not the same as like with like a regular, a regular guy loses their job, but it's like it's still a guy that lost his job. Like he literally lost what was been his dream probably for the last few years, getting a head coaching job in the NFL. Like we're gonna have some respect for that. But like I said, he probably was at home watching the game. You don't not have friends and everything still within the organization. And remember, supposedly him and Kafka are friends. That's what Kafka said.
Yeah.
Believe that. I got a bridge to sell you there. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and pay the bills real quick, guys. And then we're going to get it back to the talking about the Jay Glazer report that I think I heard Jay in the comment section talk about. He can't believe how bad that report was. Yeah, it gets that bad.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at twogiantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a Two Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
All righty, guys. And I see y'all talking also in the comments here while we're doing that video there about Isaiah Hodgins, what he is. He's wide receiver 3, guys.
Yeah.
That's simple. Slayton and Wandale are definitely ahead of him. There's nobody else that should be ahead of him at this point, based on just how he's played for us in the past and he played this past Sunday. Until proven otherwise, he's wide receiver 3. So, and he should be re-signed, by the way, and be wide receiver 4 when Neighbors gets back. Just saying, re-sign the man. He should be
without a doubt.
It seems to work.
It does, and it'll be nice depth as well.
Yes, depth. Ooh, what's that? Depth.
Ooh,
Never heard of such a term before.
hello. You're in a depth.
So let's get into that Jay Glacier report here. So we mentioned a few guys who were potentials for head coach here for the New York Football Giants. Gave us kind of fair warning that the list is probably not going to be very long and wide. He didn't want it necessarily. He said they didn't want it to be like college guys or guys that lacked a lot of experience. They mostly guys they feel like could be leaders, CEO types, not like one side of the football. So we got a couple of guys they mentioned. So first off, we got a kind of a coaching retread here. So let's hit the coaching carousel. Matt Nagy's name is already being tossed out as the potential Giants head coach. We know he's an offensive mind who's had the big job before. The real question is, does he fit Jaxson Dart style-wise? Malik Neighbors? And does he fit this market? Or is he just another rerun we've already seen? And it's I think he intrigues me the same way that Brian Dable probably intrigues other teams, fans right now.
Yeah.
Like, do I trust the Bears put him in the right scenario to succeed? Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. This is not like, oh, the Bears beat us 2 weeks ago or a week ago, whatever. I'm going to talk trash about them now. Let's be honest. The Bears have been a crap franchise now for a good number of years.
That maybe.
Basically since Lovie Smith left until now.
They had a couple good years, a couple good runs with
but one of those good years was with Matt Nagy there. So I mean, I don't think it's necessarily as crazy an idea. I don't think it's a sexy pick. Let me be very clear on that. I don't think it's your A or B pick either. Don't get me wrong on that. But listen, you want a guy who's going to work well with Jaxson Dart. And listen, I'm going to be very careful in the way I word this. Jaxson Dart improvises a lot. Jaxson Dart moves around the pocket a lot. Jaxson Dart does some unconventional throws a lot. Who else also does that?
There's a quarterback in the league that everyone loves.
In Kansas City. Who's the offensive coordinator? Oh, yeah. That's right. Matt Nagy.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, yeah, it's not that crazy an idea to think of at that point there. Again, I'm not saying Jaxson Dart, for the record, is Patrick Mahomes. I'm not that crazy. But I could see where somebody could sit there and say he's like the Temu version of Mahomes right now because he plays a similar style to a certain degree.
Still a compliment.
It is. Listen, I'm not knocking him, but anyway, I like him. But now you got a guy who's literally been the offensive coordinator now since Eric Bieniemy got let go in 23. He was the quarterback's coach in 22 when who was the quarterback coach for? Oh yeah, Mike Kafka. He replaced Mike Kafka there. So he was the Bears head coach 18 to 21, which sounds bad, but guess what, guys? He was 34-31 with the Bears. So he did have a winning record. The problem was he was going into downward trajectory. Started off 12-4 in his first season, then 8-8 the next 2 seasons, and then 6-11 his last season there. But I think it's only fair to say when you judge a coach, You got to look at like who was their quarterbacks, because that's a big part of it. You either have a quarterback, or you don't. We see it all the time.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky was his quarterback.
Mitchell
Trubisky.
Who's a backup to the Steelers now? Or
Trubisky, right? The guy whose name sounds like a freaking box of crackers. And you know it does, right? Don't tell me it doesn't sound like a box of crackers.
100%.
Like, oh, I'm going to have some tomato soup. Could you pass me over some Trubiskys over here?
The unsalted ones, thank you.
Like, that's just
I've already dealt with one salty Trubisky today.
You know, it's so. And then his last year, when he had such a horrible year, Andy Dalton started off as the quarterback, and then at Justin Fields, it was his rookie year. That's how bad it was. Now,
yeah,
when he left, Matt was literally ran out of Chicago. Like, they could not get rid of him quick enough. Wasn't like his successor did any better.
No.
Again, he got saddled with two really bad quarterbacks. Can I sit there and blame him? I don't know. And it's not like the Chiefs are missing a beat now with him as the offensive coordinator again. And he's as Andy Reid of a guy as Andy Reid of a guy can be. Before he went to the Bears, he was the Chiefs offensive coordinator again, 16 and 17. He was the quarterbacks coach for the Chiefs, 13 to 15. He was on the Eagles staff from 2008 to 2012. He is as Andy Reid a guy as you're going to get. Talk about coaching trees. Andy Reid coaching tree is a pretty damn good coaching tree.
Yeah, this is just the team of Andy Reid.
Yeah. So, listen, I'm not advocating for it. I'm not saying I'll be ecstatic if you know he's the guy that gets the job. But am I crazy to think we could do worse?
Yeah.
I actually think I would be more excited to see him than I would to see Lou Anarumo, who's like one of the biggest names they're saying right now. Because at least I've seen him go places and win. He's got some head coaching experience. And he had some success.
Yeah, I mean.
Plus, speaking of Timo people, tell me it doesn't like the Timo version of Bill Goldberg.
It doesn't. Who's next in line?
I'm just, that's where I'm at. And Deb asked the question, would rather have him or Mike Kafka. I think I'd rather have him. I'm not a Kafka guy. Like if you really want me to put an opinion on Kafka, and I'm trying to be good and give him the benefit of the doubt and give him a couple of games to figure it out. I'm not a Kafka guy. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not. I don't know what the hype is. You know, like
he's definitely the guy that comes into the resume, comes into the interview with his resume perfectly on a perfect thickness paper, with his portfolio out, is a brag book, and interviews well. But when he comes to do the job, he probably lied in resume just a little bit of fluff it, just a little bit.
Are you saying Kafka?
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw this out there for Kafka too, and I hate making these accusations, but I got to say it because it's the world we live in the NFL. Rooney Rule. He's a Rooney Rule guy.
He is.
Like he is Hispanic. He does qualify for the Rooney Rule, and I'm sorry, we all know that guys get interviews all the time because of that. We all know it. We see it all the time. That's what the whole Brian Flores lawsuit's about. Because the NFL forces the NFL teams to bring in guys they have no intention of hiring just to avoid getting fined or penalized for breaking this rule. Now, I'll say this. I don't not support the rule because that was before the rule was there. You know, there was it was so rare to see a black head coach. It's not even funny, for example. And while it's still not a commonplace thing, I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. I'm sure the majority of head coaches are still white guys. The percentages have definitely gone in the better
diversified.
swing. Yeah, like, and like, so I'm not trying to sit there and say negative on the rule itself. It was there for a reason. It's worked, at least to a certain degree. But are we really thinking every single one of his interviews was legit?
He talks well. He presents himself well. That definitely has some stuff to do with it. When it comes to like Kafka, like he's also in the building, like now. So I'm interested into seeing what he does the next couple of weeks before I make it.
Anthony with the Rob checking in with the HR appropriate response.
Which is funny because I'm actually normally the guy who's not the HR friendly guy.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not. Again, I'm not.
You're not wrong for saying that.
I'm not.
You're not wrong for saying it because 100% that's not what happens.
But it's a reality of it. We have to if we're going to discuss the legitimacy of Kafka as a good candidate, we have to also discuss the fact that he's been a candidate other places flat out because he's Hispanic. Now, when he gets, and here's the difference, and here where I don't, and again, we're getting way off topic, but it is what it is. We do that. This is why I'm not down on the rule, because let me put it this way: Giants offensive coordinator the last couple of years. The Giants have sucked in offense the last couple of years. Is he really a guy you're like, I need to get the Giants offensive coordinator in here for an interview? But at the same point, he's gone past the first round multiple times too. So he might not have been brought in for legitimate reasons, but he might have impressed enough to go to the next step from there, which is why that rule still makes sense.
100%. And we've pretty much blocked him from leaving twice.
Well, as an OC, just for the clarification.
Just saying, you just said no one's excited to go get that OC from the Giants. Has been
no, but they've wanted him to be an OC. Like Seattle was hot to trot for him point blank, which is kind of crazy if you think about it now, because Clint Kubiak is now thought of as a legitimate head coaching candidate some places, and that's where he was going to go. He actually wanted to go there, and the Giants blocked him and made him the assistant head coach and gave more money to stop him.
Without a doubt, they did. That's what I'm getting at. So, like, he interviews well. He talks very well. Now he doesn't have anyone blocking his play calling, so let's see what he actually has.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to sit there and bash him. I want to give him the chance to show himself. He's got 6 more games to do that. I'm just sitting here saying point blank that I think if you said right now, make a decision. I'm taking Matt Nagy over. I'm taking Mike Kafka.
Yeah, that's.
So, though I'm more down with what Anthony's saying right now about bringing Brian Flores in a head coach and Mike McDaniels as the OC, I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, be fantastic. He also got to drop that lawsuit.
Yeah. So let's talk about potentially the least exciting candidate I've heard of all of these candidates so far here, because Arthur Smith is another name that keeps coming up now. He's known for his physical, run-heavy football, which sounds great in theory, but is that really what the Giants should build around right now? We'll talk about how his philosophy would impact Malik Neighbors, Jaxson Dart, and the identity of this Giants offense here. So, listen, I picked the wrong one there. See, I confused him with Shane Bowen. That's how much I don't like this option. But, again, this was part of that Jay Glazer report, and he's been kind of, popping around there as somebody, and I don't know. I'm so not high on that option. It's not even funny. So obviously he's been the offensive coordinator now since 2024 for the Steelers. Prior to that, he was the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, 21-23. Was literally 7-10 each season as a head coach, but never really had a quarterback. Let's be honest. Marcus Mariota's, the Desmond Ridders of the world, like that's the guys he had to deal with.
They had Mariota leave in the middle of a game.
He retired in the middle of the season, basically. But
yeah,
that was also got, I think, a procedure done. He just didn't ask the team permission to do it. He was like, "Yeah, I need this. I'm doing it." Like that was basically where he was at. And the Steelers, by the way,
correctly, it was like he had his son, or he had a child born, and they gave him shit for leaving. And then like 2 days later, he was like, "Oh, by the way, I need the surgery." Deuces, I'm out.
But the Steelers, by the way, had the 12th best offense in the league if you go by points, which is what I always do. I couldn't give it too damn bad yards. I want to go 100% based on points, because that's what matters in the end. They're 12th in the league. That doesn't excite me. Last year, he was getting into fights. Again, not the greatest quarterback in the world, but he was getting fights with Russell Wilson. Like, the two of them were arguing like you wouldn't believe. So prior to that, he was the Titans offensive coordinator, 19 and 20. Being the Titans offensive coordinator back in 19 and 20 was the equivalent of being J.J. McCarthy at Michigan. Hand the ball off. Hand the ball off.
Oh, who's quarterback? Tannehill.
Yes. Let King Henry do his thing. But he was with them at literally with the Titans since 2011 to 2020. So 10 years with the one team is pretty damn impressive. That's not something you see in football very often. So I will give him that. But yeah, I'm not excited by that option at all. I get it. He's been a head coach. He's got some experience, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But do you really see him as a guy that you're like, ooh, this is the guy that can help develop Jaxson Dart?
No. No.
He's never developed anybody.
The only thing you could give him is maybe Tannehill looked a little bit better when he was OC there.
Well, Tannehill looked better,
but you also have to say King Henry also had the ball so much that no one had faith in Tannehill to throw the ball. And, he had people in the wide open and in flats.
Yeah, and his first few years was literally with Ryan Tannehill when he first got to Tennessee. So, maybe you give him a little credit there.
That's the whole thing. Did he develop this? Was Riddler? Yeah.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Yeah.
Can he
develop a quarterback?
Jaxson Dart. I don't know. I hear too many negatives, and I feel like it's a very old school offensive system he runs, and just to me doesn't work anymore in the NFL. You can't be a run first team in the NFL anymore. I'm sorry, you can't. Now, does that mean to give up the run? No, I'm not trying to say you go back to what it was a couple of years ago and run the ball, 10 times a game and that's it. But for the most part, you need to run like a maximum 45% of the time to be a successful offense in this league. Not to be just an offense that just runs along for the ride with a great defense, which is what the Titans had. For being honest, that's what the Titans had. Remember the Titans? That's what they did. So not at all impressed at all with the idea of Arthur Smith. That's for damn sure. So I'm good there. Let's get to one of the more polarizing guys here. So I hear a lot of guys extremely high on this one. I hear a lot of guys extremely low on this one. It's Chris Shula, a younger coach whose name is starting to pop. Some insiders think he's going to be a star. Would the Giants be smart to jump early on the ascending defensive mind like that, or is this roster better suited for a more experienced voice? And that's basically what this boils down to. Do you want the more experienced voice? Do you want the young guy who's people think is going to be a can't miss kind of prospect here that like him? Because that's what Jay Glazer said point blank. He said, Shula's name is starting to pop. Exact words, starting to pop. He says McVay's worked with him a lot, and Glazer said that McVay believes Shula is going to be a star. Now, that's as pretty much as a good of a of a guy to vouch for you, Sean McVay. But then you look at the fact that Sean McVay literally went to college with this guy, and he was his roommate in college. Do I trust McVay to look at this without rose-colored glasses because he's buddy-buddy with this guy?
It's a hard game for me, even if it wasn't his roommate. Like, can this guy be a stud coming up, being a young guy who you're going to take a chance on? It's what it is.
Yes, you're doing. You're taking a chance.
you are like, do we go through another year where we're like, oh, are we getting like another Joe Judge out here taking a chance on him? Are we getting like another Brian Dable giving him like doesn't have that much experience, like, or I mean, we talked about this already, but like, do you want to take the chance of a guy like McCarthy, who he may not win you the Super Bowl, but
that's my guy.
He'll bring you structure, discipline, and players that will come up to play where at any position, and he'll start making the moves where we'll win double-digit wins a season, which is something we have not done in almost a decade.
Yeah.
So you bring someone like that in, and when it's his time, that's when you usually take a chance on the younger guy, because you already got the structure there and you know how it's operating. Like,
I just feel like we're not in the place for a younger guy be on the rookie deal for Jaxson Dart. Like, you have to be able to take advantage of that. You have to be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do it, Shula sounds more and more like the name that you would take that risk on.
Yeah, I agree. I just, at this point, I think you take a guy that is
now
kind of proven to develop, what you got, and see if he can get a one more shot. One of those rebound movies. Hey, let's go.
Now, if the name happens to sound familiar to you guys, then it should. If the name doesn't sound familiar to you, the last name Shula, welcome to football. This is probably your first experience with it. His father was former Bengals head coach Dave Shula. He is the grandson of Hall of Fame coach Don Shula. He is also the nephew of former Giants offensive coordinator Mike Shula, former head coach at Alabama and current offensive analyst for South Carolina. So you're definitely getting about as good a family tree as you possibly can of coaches, that's for sure. So it's like you got the grandson of Don Shula, coupled with the fact that Sean McVay loves this guy, and it makes it a very attractive offer. Then you throw in the fact that the Rams, he's been the DC now for the last 2 years, taking over the last 2 years while Aaron Donald, who's been the face of this franchise, left. Like, that's about as, hard a thing to get into. You basically got to rebuild an entire defense. I mean, they lost a lot of guys too. It wasn't, like Jalen Ramsey got traded away in that time period and all. Like, they basically did a whole about face that defense. And he's really got them going now. So last year they were ranked 17th in the NFL at 22.7 points per game given up. This year, 17.2, second in the NFL. And you saw what they just did to the Seahawks. Like, they embarrassed Sam Darnold, who's been a very good player this year. It still sounds weird to say Sam Darnold, very good player. But now we're talking 2 years. So you have to accept the Jets just suck.
And Seahawks know how to restructure quarterbacks.
Yeah, I tell you, Seahawks should just take every single ex-Jet quarterback they can. Like, if Chad Pennington wants to come out of retirement, they should just sign him.
50 years old, just come out of retirement.
Like I said, that's just where I'm at. Like, I just, and you got to think he's going to bring other people from the McVay tree with him as well, to be, coordinators and different positions within the organization and like that. So, listen, if you want to talk about going to a tree to get a first-time head coach, then you could do a lot.
One of the best you go, yeah.
You could do a lot worse than going with there. I mean, look at the guys you got there. You got Matt LaFleur, currently with the Packers. Packers have not missed a beat since he got there. Now he's having a little trouble this year, but they just beat us.
They're also struck with a lot of injuries.
Zach Taylor in Cincinnati, who's also struck with a lot of injuries, because one big injury specifically. But when Burrow is healthy, that team plays really well. Like, it's just really a guy that I feel like is just not a guy that you worry about getting guys from, Like the only one that you could say didn't work was Brandon Staley with the Chargers, and the Chargers weren't horrendous. They just weren't great. Kevin O'Connell was from that tree. Raheem Morris now with the Falcons is part of that tree. Like there's a lot of guys that have left there. And I feel like a 60% success rate at this point. And let's be honest, no matter who you sign, there's not a 100% success rate guarantee. Even McCarthy could fail miserably and look stupid for suggesting it. That's life. You never know how it's going to work until it works. But it's an intriguing option, guys. And it's one I think we should at least bring him in and have a conversation with him. Because at the very least, you bring him in, you pick his brain in the Giants defense, you learn from that.
Yeah, that Rams defense has been playing all cylinders.
Yes. And
Slow
imagine
start.
what he could do. Imagine what he can do with the guys we have. Because say what you want about McVay. But McVay is an offensive coach. And they say point blank that Sean McVay has spent more time grooming this guy to be a head coach than anybody else he's ever had in his staff because of their friendship. So he could be the guy. We'll find out. It's a name that they're definitely intrigued by. And I'm sure if he becomes the coach, he'll be a friend of the show at the end of the day.
Look, at the end of the day.
It is what it is. Anyway.
I mean,
we got one more segment here for you guys to talk about. And this has kind of been an intriguing one because I keep on saying the Giants are going to start winning eventually and then get out of the top pick. Well, guess what? In the meantime, they keep on moving down. So now the Giants are picking at number 2. And our trade simulators that we were using here have teams like the Browns, the Saints, the Jets, the Vikings, the Steelers throwing serious offers at the Giants to move up. With some stars already in place, is trading down potentially going to be the smartest way to fix this roster by getting a haul for that pick?
I mean, probably.
Well, let's be honest. Well, first off, say yes, this is way too early to this conversation, but we're having it anyway because it's all the Giants fans we have to do is talk about the draft at this point. So, and the head coach search. That's where we're down to.
I'm about to start watching college ball. Just got a lot of tape to go for our breakdowns in the draft.
Now, when I popped it into the draft simulator, which let me be very clear on this and preface this with I know it's a draft simulator, it's not actual drafting. I have no control over what the other teams give us, offer us, whatever. But it's a simulation. I kept us where we're at now. Number 2. Here's the offers we got. The Browns offered us just to go down to their pick 3. That's nice. Just one pick. You got to imagine they're moving up to get a quarterback. We got pick 3. We got pick 19, which is the one they got from the Jaguars.
Jaguars.
And we got next year's second.
That's pretty nice.
Don't tell me we can't, by going down one pick, we can get an extra second-round pick this year. Extra elite first-round pick this year and a second-round pick next year. And that doesn't help us. I'm good. Now, the Saints gave us an offer. Saints offered us, obviously, pick number 4. So we're only going down 2 spots. Pick 35, which is the very, start of the second round, which is their second round pick. And next year's first to go down 2 spots. Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Especially because you got to think whoever's going in front of you is picking a quarterback.
And I don't think Saints could pull up a crazy swing at how great they're going to be next year. So you're going to have probably a top 5 pick, a top 10 pick.
Yeah. The Jets gave us an offer. Pick 5, pick 28, pick 44. So we get 2 first rounders this year. We only go down 3 picks. So we got 5 and 28. We pick up a second rounder as well. That's that. These are sweet offers, guys. Because keep in mind, we don't lack necessarily star power on the Giants, which sounds weird to say. We got Malik Neighbors. We got Andrew Thomas. We got Brian Burns. We got Dexter Lawrence. We have young potential stars, I'll say it that way, in Jaxson Dart, Cam Scadaboo. What we're missing is help around them.
In depth.
Like we don't even need, honestly, I look back at last year's draft, and not just because of the fact that Abdul Carter is not playing as well as some people wish, and not getting tons of sacks. I wonder now if we should have taken a spot back. Like, do we really need another pass rusher? We could have gone back, maybe got in the middle of the first round on the corner, maybe got a couple extra picks and fixed a couple other spots and depth issues we have. Again, hindsight's 2020, obviously. But it's a conversation. So I also went and looked at the pick 5. So what I did was I accepted the pick for the Jets. That brought us to pick 5, which puts us where we'd be at if all those teams lose on our bye week. Because right now we're half a game above those guys. So if all those teams lose on their bye week, we're at the 5th pick. Here's where we're at. We got 2 offers in this. The Vikings gave us an offer. Pick 13. Pick 45. And a 6th round pick next year. That's
shabby.
I mean, you're going down 8 picks. You picked up a second. Who cares about the 6? That's just a throw in, let's be honest. You picked up a 2nd round pick. It would probably, for me, depend on who's there at 5 and who I thought of them. Here's the one I actually love. Steelers gave us an option.
That's interesting.
Pick 26. So we're going way down now. Let's be very clear on that. We're going down from pick 2 to pick 26. We got pick 26. We got pick 57. We got pick 76. So we're getting 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round picks from the Steelers. Plus, we're getting a 1st rounder next year. Don't tell me you can't build up a roster with an extra 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and another 1st the next year. That should be 4 starters basically on your roster that you got out of this trade. Knowing the Giants will be 1. But it should be 4. Makes a lot of sense, guys. And again, we'll find we got to find out where we're going to be at the end. We're doing a lot of speculation because of how early it is. I'll be the first one to say it.
And you also got to figure with Steelers. So you're probably going to have a higher draft pick that 1st round. But who knows what happens to Tomlin? Like, is he coach next year? Maybe not.
Or so does Rodgers come back?
Yeah.
Are they going to be stuck with Will Howard?
Yeah,
maybe that's why they want to make a move like this.
Yeah, so 26 draft spot like this year, yeah, falling down, yeah, but next year
you can actually first with them potentially having a rookie quarterback.
Yep, falling down quite a bit.
And like I said, I get it. We need another weapon. We need a linebacker. We need a corner. And this is why I keep saying this, like drafting down and trading down, because I don't think getting another star wide receiver, let's say hypothetically, nobody talks about wide receiver. I don't think getting the star wide receiver makes us that much better. I think getting a really good receiver makes us that much better. Getting a really good corner makes us that much better. Because we need to get a corner, guys. I understand that everybody, see Anthony with them done with drafting corners. We need one.
Let's do out of the circle.
And I don't want to see be at number 1. I'll be very clear on that. I think get one in the 2nd, 3rd round that you can develop. Like a Kool-Aid McKinstry that the Saints have. You saw what he did for us and against us in the Saints game. A guy like that. Go get a big run-stopping defensive tackle, a big fat boy to clog up the lanes.
Yeah, and my bad.
Go get some depth in the offensive line. Like, we have so many goddamn needs.
We do. And what I was trying to make the point before, you get that 27 first round draft pick, you could also probably trade those back. You get more picks.
You potentially could. So, and I get it. Everybody's in the comment. We can't develop this, can't develop that. We're going to have a new coaching staff next year, guys. And while I'm not going to sit there and say the new coaching staff can definitely develop people, you can't go into a coaching staff with that idea they can't.
Especially when you're having the chance to.
Let them prove you they can. You can't do that if you don't get them players.
Give me them players.
And like I said, I think it's the way to go. I really do. And again, we'll see. It's early. But, that's what we got to consider at this point here. So, all right. So, guys, we're not going to do our usual rundown of the scores for the picks and everything there this week either. I know we skipped the picks this week. Now we skipped the recap as well. Just so much with Giants head coaching news. We want to give you guys everything as it comes in, so you know who the names are, but he's talking about, how things are going as far as that kind of stuff. Because quite frankly, that's more important. As Giants fans, that's more important. So, so I will tell you that week 10, I slightly beat Rob. 30-27. So far, I also slightly beat Rob. We got to figure out what happens today. Looks like you have over. I have the under in the game. That's the only difference we have. But I have a 4-point lead right now on you. So
still for the year.
As I say, so you have a 2-point lead on the year. So I could come back with this last game. We'll find out. So
we should say what's the over in the game?
50.
So we're sitting at 39. So you probably won with the under.
Let's see. I haven't looked to see what's even going on in this game here.
39 Cowboys. Last time.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see if I win. But if I do win, yeah, that would put me over. We're tied.
I was going to say. Don't be giving false information like kicking ass or anything.
Listen, I've won 2 weeks in a row now. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll.
What kind of roll? Hard roll, soft roll?
I don't know. Speaking of which, we're gonna get sidetracked again for a brief second here. There's I didn't mean to even bring this up in the show, but you brought it up. You're bringing hard rolls up and stuff like that. So, there is a new place, and I'll leave it up to all y'all in the chat as well as anybody knows this. The Bagel Nook. Is that a good place?
I have
just opened one in Tampa.
I hear good things. I've never eaten there.
So, because I'm looking this up, and they have Freehold apparently is their corporate headquarters. They have one in Middletown. They have one in Aberdeen, Matawan, one in Ocean, one in Shrewsbury, one in Atlantic Highlands. I'm like, oh my God, these are like all our neck of the woods there. And Anthony just gave us an F yes.
Yep. I heard nothing but good things.
So this place literally has a pumpkin bagel that they stick a little green thing to make it look like a pumpkin even.
I think a little crazy over there.
Dude, they have all kinds of crazy stuff. We get sidetracked with food stuff all the time, obviously. But listen, they get all kinds of crazy stuff. So they do an Oreo bagel. And they stuff it with cream cheese and Oreo cookies. They do a fruity pebble one with birthday cake cream cheese.
Hell yeah, AC.
Yeah, like let me see if I can find it here. The Bagel Nook pumpkin bagel. I'm gonna see if I can find this here for you guys real quick.
They have not paid us to advertise for them, so just putting it out there. This is Drew and I just being fat.
Yeah, they're not a paid sponsor of them.
Yeah.
Of the Giant Goofballs. Though again, guys, we are working with talking to a company soon. So if you need any Giants gear, hold off a minute because we might be able to get you a discount soon. Just saying, we're working on it. We're working on it. Let's see here.
After yesterday, I needed a new Malik Neighbors jersey.
There you go. That's what it looks like. That's the pumpkin bagel.
Yeah.
Right? It looks like an actual pumpkin. I mean, it's crazy. Like Oreo. Let's see here. Look at that. This is the Cookie Monster, apparently.
I was about to say the Cookie Monster. I've seen that one. It's a blueberry.
I don't know, dude. All I know is I want this thing now.
Jim's have something like that.
I love Jim's Bagels. I love Jim's Bagels.
They call it the Angry Smurf. It was like cream cheese, a blueberry bagel that's blue. It's like cream cheese, I forget, sausage, whatever cheese, like hot sauce, something. I can't remember, but yeah.
Now I got everybody in the chat asking for discounts on tires now. I can't offer discounts on tires on the show. I have to keep work life and podcasting life separate, guys. Sorry. No. And I don't think I'm legally allowed to even get a tire sponsor because of work now. Not that not that like Mission was like knocking down our doors or anything. But anyway, guys, that's gonna call it a night for us here. We'll be back again, of course, on Wednesday, giving you guys the update on the game this week against the Lions, where we fully intend to get destroyed, by the way. But we'll be talking about it anyway. That'd be fun. Why not? What the hell? So, as always, we're live Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter /X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite. And of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the big ones there, guys. If you haven't already, do me a favor. Hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe, ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. As always, Giant fans. Gucci man! Gucci man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.